Go Vikes! Welcome everybody to another edition of Vikings Spin. I'm your host Jason, and we're going to break down the Vikings victory today over the Baltimore Ravens. Vikings win this one by a score of 24-16 over the Ravens. The Vikings improved to 5-2 on the year, and the Ravens dropped to 3-4. What can I say? The defense dominated again. This was a great team win, but wow, the defense, Anthony Barr and Eric Hendricks just flying around the field from the linebacker spots. Roads were closed today. Trey Waynes and Terrence Newman both played good games today in coverage. And of course, our front four, man, Everson Griffin keeping that sack streak alive. Now with, I think it's been, it's been all season. I think it's 8 consecutive games dating back from last year. Danielle Hunter getting a sack, Tom Johnson getting in on the act there. Linval Joseph was stout in the middle, forcing the Ravens to have to bounce outside where they would get tackled by, usually Barr or Kendricks. The front seven was in the Baltimore backfield for most of the day. Made life very difficult for Joe Flacco and the Ravens offense to move the ball. They actually didn't get their touchdown until pretty much a garbage time touchdown at the end on the very last play of the game, which was meaningless because the game, its outcome had already been decided. So can't ask for more there. Also, offensively, the Vikings had a tremendous day from Latavius Murray. He had his breakout game as a Viking, scored his first touchdown as a Viking, and Murray had over 100 yards rushing on the day. Jerick McKinnon added another 47 rush yards. I think the Vikings were over 160 as a team. Case Keenum, after kind of an inconsistent first half, settled down and played better in the second half, wound up at 188 yards passing. Had some key completions to Kyle Rudolph. Jarius Wright had 3 catches in the game. Had some key moments. Adam Thielen, I believe, had 4 or 5 catches today. McQuan Treadwell had a couple. And on special teams, Mike Zimmer issued a challenge to his special teams this week. He knew that this would be a game that the Vikings had to grind out, and they would need all 3 phases to get a team win, and the special teams showed up big time. Kai Forbath, 6 field goals in the game, 6 for 6, including some 50-yard field goals, some field goals from 50-plus in this ball game. Forbath was outstanding today, making all those kicks, and Marcus Sherrills had a really good game in the as a punt returner. Had some really nice returns, gave the Vikings good field position and a game that featured 2 good defenses, and that's really important when you're in a grinded out game like this, to be able to win the field position battle. So this victory moves the Vikings to first place by themselves because Green Bay lost today to the Saints. So the Vikings move to 5-2. Green Bay falls to 4-3. So the Vikings are now alone in first place, headed into Week 8, where they will go to London next week to take on the Cleveland Browns, and we'll of course have a preview analysis of that later this week. In this ball game, the Vikings did have a couple of injuries. They're according to Mike Zimmer, they're not serious, but Jeremiah Searles went down in the game. He was already filling in for Nick Easton, over there at left guard. He went down, and Danny Isidora came in the second half. And Isidora played well. He opened up the holes for Latavius Murray on his touchdown run, on another 35-yard run that he had. He was part of the moving company there, the Minnesota moving company there in the second half. So hats off to Isidora for being ready and coming in there and stepping in, and there's not being a drop-off. And also, Riley Reif went down with a knee injury, was replaced by Rashad Hill, and Rashad Hill Like Case Keenum said after the game, he really didn't notice it. Hill did not, allow any sacks or anything, so he stepped in there and played well. We knew that Rashad Hill could provide depth at tackle. He played well in that start last year against the Bears. We were excited about him in preseason because he was showing well, and he came in there when he was needed today, and played a solid game. So, but like Zimmer said, I don't think these are serious. So hopefully we see Riley Reef back in action next week, and maybe get Nick Easton back too at guard. So we'll see how all that stuff plays out, during the week. But for now, this is a great team win for the Vikings. They moved to 5-2 on the season, alone in first place. And we thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of Viking Spin. And we will see you during the week. And for now, I'll leave you with some Tommy Henriksen.